Hello and I welcome you on Theater Recap. Today, I explain 2015 horror, science fiction movie Victor Frankenstein. At the beginning of this storyline, a man named Victor Frankenstein appears. He's a medical student who wants to great things in life. He goes to a circus one night where an attractive girl is performing. That girl falls from a peak while performing. She thus sustains a serious injury. Igor, who has a hunchback, is also shown here. His bent back prevents him from walking normally. He finds this girl attractive. Due to her accident, that girl was having trouble breathing. Igor, however, is aware of her situation. How will she be made well again? Igor had sufficient knowledge of the anatomy. He had a hunchback, which caused this. He was hunched over. He has done extensive research on its recovery. Despite not having a degree, he is not less than a doctor. Within a short period of time, he saves that girl. The girl then regains her breath. Witnessing it, Victor Frankenstein is horrified. He approaches Igor and queries, "The method you used." He mentions, "How many novels I've read." "You are wasting your time at the circus," Victor tells him. "Follow me here. Your life will be altered by me." Ringmaster also hears everything. He is the property owner there. Igor wished to escape that place, which makes him angry. He locks him up. He threatens him, saying, "If you try to flee, I'll give you to the police. You are a slave. You have acquired all human knowledge through the use of stolen books. And the police will arrest you right away." Victor Frankenstein shows up there a few moments later. He releases Igor from the cage and begins to run. They are also seen and pursued by other circus-goers. Victor, however, transports Igor to his residence invisibly but safely. Victor initially reaches the house and uses an injection and medication to evacuate the pus from his hunchback so that he can correct his body posture. Igor has also been found here. For the first time, he can stand. It implies that Igor no longer has a hunchback and can now walk correctly. On the other hand, a police officer is displayed who is looking into the case of missing Igor and a local homicide. Victor informs Igor that he is conducting an experiment called reversal of death. In other words, I can bring a dead person or animal back to life. You'll help me, and I must perform a terrific job for it. He also displays a container with human eyes in it. Those eyes start to move as the energy passes through them. Igor, who is more intelligent, corrects a mistake Victor made somewhere. He informs him that you did not connect the nerves to the eyes. Knowing that he has fixed his error makes Victor happy. He more deeply admires him. Igor was now his new employee. The organs of deceased animals start to be revived as time goes on. With the various organs, they both hope to produce a huge chimpanzee. It will be nothing short of a monster. They want to pursue advanced scientific courses. Victor and Igor went to a party after working, where Igor encounters the same attractive girl, who was first displayed in the circus. Igor is still in love with that girl, even though she cannot recognize him. Victor advises him to avoid the female in this situation. "The female is a diversion for you," he says. "You won't be able to focus on your work if you are thinking about her." They eventually return to their home. The chimpanzee initially appears on the scene in this scene. It is connected to various electric wires in a chain. It's time to pass the electricity at this point. This dead chimpanzee is being powered by electricity. In order for it to recover, here Igor is confused. But when a lifeless chimpanzee begins to move, he becomes at ease. In other words, their experiment was successful. The following day, Victor Frankenstein takes the chimpanzee to his university to demonstrate his scientific theories. There are minor obstacles. As it comes to life again, the chimpanzee starts to assault from all sides. People begin to suffer as a result. Victor therefore kills the chimpanzee he created himself. His university dismisses Victor because he has used unorthodox techniques. His aristocratic peers are also present. Victor is told, "We will finance you. Keep going with these tests. You will create an artificial humanoid for me," he adds. That is to say, a creature that could be made in our image. They might help us with our diverse goals. If not, he makes him a sizable cash offer. Igor does not wish to work for them, as can be shown in this situation. Victor accepts the invitation from his wealthy classmates while ignoring Igor. Igor concurs with Victor because Victor gave him a new life after healing his haunch again. He owed him for saving his life. He therefore agrees to help Victor. The same police officers visit Victor's home the following day. so that they can look at this matter. They were also aware of that efforts were made at the university to resurrect chimpanzees. Victor does permit the police to search the house even if they do not have a warrant to do so. They go and come back feeling let down. Igor encounters the circus performer here. Those he cherishes. Try to forget Victor, the girl tells him. Avoid carrying such trials. Otherwise, he'll make a monster once more. They are together a lot of the time. He notices that the police are busting down the door of the residence with their help. Igor will arrive back after he leaves. He asks Victor to leave as he enters the house through the other entrance. He informs him that the investor in your class has found a means to get away for us. However, Victor stays put and starts mistreating the equipment. He does not want to entrust the machinery to someone else. The policeman enters in the interim. He attempts to stop them by pointing a gun at them. But they don't behave as such. Victor and the police officer argue. After a heated argument, Victor pushes the policeman, who then hits his hand trapped in the large toothed wheel. His hand is also severed. One's hand has now been taken away by a police officer. Both proceed to their friend who has funded this project, who is seated in a carriage on the opposite side here. Their investor friend gives them additional cash. Work on my project, he commands. Make a robotic human being. Investor advises him to leave Scotland because it was unsafe for him to work here. My ancestors' hometown of Banglo is a place where you can effortlessly and quietly work. He then sets off for Scotland, in order for him to work on his idea. As the Victor departs, aristocratic investor pays Igor a visit. I will terminate Victor as soon as the experiment is completed, he assures him. And I'll use the artificial person he created as a weapon. Due to its manufactured nature, it will be unstoppable and bulletproof. And it will carry out my instructions. Igor is then thrown into the water while having his hands and feet fastened after telling the story. Igor comes up, barely untying his cords, sparing his life. He leads to the circus girl after saving himself. Victor's life is in danger, he informs her. It will be up to us to save his life. Together, they set off for Scotland so that Victor can be notified that his life is in danger. When he gets there, he tells Victor the whole truth. Your life is in danger. Victor knows everything, but he still wants to carry on with this experiment. A storm broke out many years ago as a result of him disclosing a secret to him. There, my older brother met his demise. Victor holds some responsibility for his brother's passing, and he intends to use this procedure to resurrect his older sibling. Investors and police officers eventually make their way there as well. Victor's experimentation location. During the experiment, a lot of power is produced, which starts to cause a lot of destruction everywhere. Everything begins to deteriorate, and the machine explodes. And this explosion has killed that investment. Policeman holds Victor accountable. You are the cause of all harm. You are the reason why everything is occurring. The generated creature stands up during the dialogue and starts to move. Victor is ecstatic when he realizes that his experiment was effective. Victor tries to talk to the monster, but it doesn't respond. And that creature continues to stand in the same spot. Policeman was terrified since that beast appeared to be menacing. He pulls out his revolver and shoots it. This causes the monster agony, and when it attacks him, it kills him. The creature then starts to fight with Victor and Igor, hurting them. After all, both work together to kill that monster there. Victor is finally seen relaxing on the water's edge. You can meet that girl, he writes in a letter to Igor, considering that he had initially forbade him from meeting her. Otherwise, in the letter, Victor begged for his pardon. Because despite Igor's repeated warnings, he disregarded them. This scene serves as the film's epilogue. Thanks for watching.